Alright. Give it a second to make sure it's not gonna cut no shit off. So, I mean, just nothing I like about the 80s. I hated the style, I hated the music. Guys walking around just like big perms and wearing women's clothes and shit. I just don't get it, man. Whatever. Thankfully, as a kid, so I didn't have to worry about going out to bars and shit and trying to, Anyways, I know what happened in the 80s, so I know why it got so weird in the 80s. Because of cocaine. That's what happened. Everybody in the 60s, it was like weed, mushrooms, heroin, and I mean, heroin is a horrible drug. I mean, it's just killed so many people. It's such a terrible, terrible drug. But I'm going to tell you right now, that makes some of the best music that's ever been made. Jazz musicians were all in a dope. Jim Morrison, Jerry Garcia, God only knows how many other people. Janis Joplin, though I'm not a big fan of Janis. I mean, I like her for what she was, but I don't like female musicians. I just don't. Can't relate, It's like, they can sing about shit, and it's just like, I mean, it could be something relatable, but it's like, man, I just don't dig it, dude. I don't get it. I can't relate to it. One female musician I really like, though, is Ann Peebles. Ann Peebles, I found her some years back, and I always call her the female Al Green. And she's not your typical female singer. Like, some of her songs, I'm like, alright, I could dig some of the shit she's singing about. But, I was like, man, why does she always sound so similar? Well, duh, that's because they both recorded for High Records in the same house band. Duh! No wonder they sound identical, the music parts. So, I was talking the other day on another video about music where, yes, Booker T and MG's, that was a house band for Stax Records. And I finally remembered because I was listening to a Sam and Dave song on, is it maybe Soul Man? Yeah, it has to be Soul Man. And he's like, play it, Steve, play it. And he's doing a little guitar solo, and it's like, oh, Steve Cropper, duh, okay. That's how I remember. They were really good, man. They had some great solo music on their own. I'm really glad they recorded, like Hip Hugger, and, not Hip Hugger, it's Hip Hug Her. Melting Pot. I'm trying to think, it's been a while since I listened to them too. Time is Tight is a good one. There's one that's got like this real mellow, slow intro to it, and I didn't know of that version for a long time, and finally I found it, and it's tight. I like it. I know more of their stuff, but I have to think about it and refresh myself. But so, I don't know. Once it's like, especially in the 70s, there's a lot of dope going around and just made great music. And then the 80s, cocaine just took over, and it just fucked up everything. I mean, just the whole society just went whack because of cocaine. And crack was coming around that time. And, but in the 90s, it was just like, we made a huge comeback in the 90s in the world of music. And you know why? Because everybody started doing dope again. Sublime, Stone Temple Pilots, I'm sure Pearl Jam, Nirvana, fucking all of them. I'm sure they were all doing something. Most of them were probably doing dope. And Dave Matthews, that's another one. It's like once he stopped doing dope, I liked all his music all the way up to through Before These Crowded Streets. That was a damn good album. I don't like love songs. I don't like sappy shit like that. But the song Crush on Before These Crowded Streets, like, that's a dope ass song to sing to a girl, or like, if that's the pimp shit, dude. That's really good. That shit's tight. But after that album, he stopped doing dope and he started boozing, and it's like, man, dude, it just shows in his music. He wanted to go electric after that, and like, dude, why change it up? But it's like, I hate to say it, man, but some of these big time musicians, it's like, if you become something big and you're doing something great, and your drug of choice that's probably gonna kill you is helping you to create such good shit, like, you almost gotta sacrifice yourself for the fucking the bettering of music, you know? That's my opinion. Obviously, wouldn't ever condone that shit to anybody. Thankfully, I never fucked up that stuff, but known a couple people that have, a couple people passed away. It's just sad, man. That's a devastating fucking thing to get a hold of somebody. And I don't know. But it makes good music. It really makes good music. It damn well makes good music. And then after the 90s were over, it was like everybody came to their senses and stopped doing dope for the most part. And I don't know, it's like weed and synthetic shit that they were making in the 2000s that was like making people fucking go crazy. People started eating Tide Pods and shit, man. So to me, that's why the music's just fucking garbage out there today. And if anybody likes new music, or you're passionate about new music, I'm not trying to shit on your fucking parade, man. It's not my intention. It's just, I'm just speaking, man. I'm just talking. I'm just saying the shit that's on my mind, because that's what, if I'm gonna make fucking videos about what I want to say, then that's what, I'm just gonna speak my mind. But everything's commercialized now. It don't matter. This, whatever this shit is they call rap. I mean, dude, it ain't rap. I don't know why they call it rap. They need to come up with a new name for it. And I'm not even knocking the shit. I'm just saying it's not what rap was. Like mumble rap's the best descriptive term I've heard it called since the last, I don't know how many years and years. But I don't know. Country, alternative, rap, even like metal music. I don't know, they still making metal music out there. I'm sure they are. But it's all commercialized, man. And it happens. I mean, it's hard if you're a struggling musician and you get an offer for a record deal. And the record label says, look, your first album, we'll give you some leeway. We'll let you kind of make what you want to make. We might tailor it a little bit, but we'll give you like 75% of it. You can make it 75% the way you want. But your next album, we're going to take a little bit more control of it. We're going to be like, we'll give you 65% or 55% or 45%, and it's like, it's the record label's fault. I don't even blame any of the so-called, I just call them so-called musicians. I got that from Malcolm X. I love so-called musicians, because I can't look at these people today like they're musicians, because to me they're not fucking musicians. They are entertainers. They get paid to put on a show. Now, I'm going to tell you what it is, in my opinion, that has ruined not only music, but television as well. Man, it drives me nuts, because I don't know. I think that back in the 60s, when people were protesting and the government was sending the National Guard out, and there ended up, shit like killing college students at Kent State and, beating people up and doing shit. I think that somebody along the way, the powers that be, whoever those people are, I think that somewhere along the line, somebody goes, hey, you know what? Let's stop looking like assholes. Just fucking give the people what they want. Just give them what they want. People say, well, what? Oh, what are you talking about? Just give them what they want. We're going to let them go. We'll let them have what they want. But what we're going to do is we're going to wage a fucking psychological war against their kids and their grandkids and their great-grandkids. And we're going to make a society that makes people interested in the most fucking pointless shit imaginable. How do they start? MTV. I think it came out the same year I was born, as a matter of fact. I think MTV is about 2 months older than I am, unless I'm mistaken, but it was damn close to when I was born. I think it was that same summer, somewhere in there. I don't find it ironic that the first music video was ever played on MTV was Video Killed the Radio Star, because, man, it fucking did, dude. It just started a fast process of killing music. And that didn't happen right away. You still had a lot of styles of music that weren't commercialized yet. But I think that's what really started the process. Now, there was commercial bands. There's been pop music forever. I mean, there's been, not forever, but, there's been pop music around at least since the 40s, probably, at least in the 50s. But it just wasn't as prevalent. I mean, even Hendrix, he hated playing hits. He hated Foxy Lady and Fire and all that shit. The record labels, they wanted hits. He wanted to do artistic music. But, you go to the concerts and everybody wants to hear the fucking hit songs because that's what they're getting shoved down their throat all the time. He didn't even like playing it. He'd do it sometimes, but he didn't like it. And MTV started waging a war against music because before MTV, if you think about it, like back in the 60s, the 50s, 60s, 70s, like, now this don't apply to everybody, but there were some ugly fucking people that were musicians, that were famous musicians. Like, you ever seen Robert Plant back in the day? That was a weird looking motherfucker, dude, but they made jams, man. They jammed. I don't know, I'm trying to think of some other really odd looking people. I don't know. Anyways, like Pink Floyd, they're kind of out there looking too. Roger Waters is kind of weird looking dude. These people were just probably pulling all kinds of chicks, because they're fucking. Back then, what sold was the quality of your music, because not everybody was seeing you. You weren't all over the television. You weren't doing judge. You weren't like a judge on a fucking a singing. Let's find a nobody and turn him into a somebody singing show. American Idol and The Voice and that bullshit. They weren't on stuff like that. They weren't all over the television. They played music. Now, over time, once MTV came out, it was a slow process, but it started to become more about what you look like than what you sing. Now, like I said, it was a slow process. Music was still music, whether I liked it or not, through the 80s, through the 90s. But it's like, nowadays especially, like, I don't think it mattered. I mean, there's probably a couple people out there that aren't really the best looking, but most musicians, well, so-called musicians that are in the real world out there are like, they're not bad looking people, you know what I mean? And it's like, that's what sells. That's what sells. Looks is what sells now. Not the quality of your music, just looks. Be on TV, make music videos, go be a guest star on this, go play on Dance with the Stars or whatever kind of dumb shit they got on. And people love this stuff. I don't get it, man. But anyways, so that to me, that was the demise of music in the end. Like 80s, it kind of got weird because it was like you had bands, like you had like metal bands and you had some stuff, but like some of them were just like, it was such a new avenue to be on TV and music videos that it kind of, I think it was a weird period in the 80s, and all the cocaine didn't help. But the 90s, I think, people, like I say, started doing dope again, and they kind of got their shit back together as far as like making good music. But in the end, it's like, looks are what sells. That's it. That's just what fucking sells, man. And ironically, it's like the first reality show was The Real World, as far as I know. Actually, there was something else. I swear there was something else, like some old fucking thing I saw the other day. I was like, damn, was that the first reality show? But I can't remember what it was. When I do, I'll bring it up sometime. But really, the first reality show that was like popular and big was The Real World. And they had the Road Rules, but The Real World was like the first one, I believe, that kicked it off. And it took a long time, thankfully, it took a long time for these other networks to pick up on that. But it was like one day somebody just goes, damn, we could either pay all these like movie stars to guest star in our shows or have their own show and pay them tons of money, or we could just find some fucking nobody and spice up their life a little bit with some made up drama and pay them jack shit. They're going to be happy because they're going to have more money than they've ever had, and we're going to be happy because we're just be fucking banking off these idiots, however much, I don't know what the going rate is, but it's like, Jesus God almighty. People, what the fuck kind of shit are people watching? Honey Boo Boo, man? Jesus God, when first time I realized that was a fucking show, I almost threw up. That is what people watch. I dated this girl like 10 years ago, and thankfully she wasn't too big into the stuff, but like there was one of those fucking Desperate Housewives, not the show Desperate Housewives, like the Real Housewives. One of them fucking ones, I forget what city it was, like Jersey or fucking, I don't know, I don't remember what town it was from, but I was just like, I couldn't do it. I couldn't watch this shit, man. It's like these fucking people that who gives a shit about and their fucking lives. I don't care about these people. I have no interest in their lives or what they are doing. If they were to all, I'm sorry. There is one thing that they could do that would actually get my attention and my interest, and I would love to watch. If every one of them so-called real housewives, if they just all lined up in a big long line and they all took, each one of them had a gun and they just all one at a time, or just went down the line and blew their brains out, I would pay to fucking watch that. I would pay a lot of money to see that. Other than that, I don't care. I don't care. I had seen a few episodes of that fucking Real Housewives stuff. I'm like, what is this shit, man? It's all drama, and it's like it's changed our society, man. It took people who are already becoming a society that was already becoming materialistic and just really, really made it materialistic, man. It's so fucking depressing. It is, man, because people buy into this shit, and it's like whoever came up with all this stuff, they knew it. They knew what they're doing. And I'll be honest with you, if I had to bet one way or the other, I'd be willing to bet that the powers that be had something to do with MTV's creation. Now, I want to say it was one of the Monkees, maybe. Not one of the Beach Boys. I think it's one of the Monkees. I could be wrong. Don't quote me. I swear it was one of the Monkees. I had heard. I don't know if I looked into it. But my buddy that knows a lot about music was the one that told me, so it's gotta be. Anyways, point being, I wouldn't be surprised if the powers that be back this shit, you know? And it's like, as time goes on, look, nobody cares about anything real. I mean, yeah, people, they get all up in arms about the president, who's gonna be the president, the president's doing this and shit, fuck. We don't even know what the fuck's going on in the world. Like I said, I could watch the news so long ago, it's at least 10 years ago, I could read newspapers. When I would search something on my phone on Google, it would pop up with these news stories related to my searches and stuff, and kind of, and like, I would sometimes scroll through it, and this is like a year ago, and I would like click on stuff, and next thing you know, it's like, pit bull story, blah, 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 people talking, knocking pit bulls. Next thing you know, I'm pissed off again. I don't know what happened, I didn't know how to get rid of it, but I think my phone had an update one day, and when I click the little search bar, all that comes up is my recent searches. And to find wherever this news feed is of these bullshit stories I don't want to know about, I have to like scroll down and click on something. I don't know what it is. I stumbled upon it once. I was like, nope, I don't want to know it. I don't want to know. I don't look at Facebook news feeds. I don't want to hear the stupid shit going on. Because I think the plan is, if I haven't said this before, is that the really, 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 really rich people, like the people that run the world, not only have they gotten us to care about just the most pointless fucking shit, and when I say us, I mean us collectively, not us individually, because I don't fit into that fucking us, man. And they get society to care about nothing important. And then when it comes to stuff like voting and presidents, I mean, how many people really know that much about it? I mean, seriously. Or somebody might listen to one particular person's point of views on the radio or on whatever, and they just think they know everything. Again, that's not everybody. I know some people do know the stuff. But it's like, I ain't gonna fucking front. I don't know shit about it. I don't even want to know about it. This is the first time I didn't vote because I sat down one day and I was like, damn, man. It's bad enough that the fucking powers that be give us two people to choose from every 4 years. What kind of fucking election is that, man? That ain't a real election. You want this fucking puppet or do you want this one? Pick. And it's just like, it got to a point where I'm like, dude, I would rather, I don't want Hillary or fucking Trump as a president. I don't want either one of them. I don't want either fucking one of them. Nothing. So finally, I just said, fuck it, man. I cannot live with myself if I give either one of them assholes a vote. So, right or wrong, I just said, fuck it. I've voted since I was 18 on presidential elections. I was 18 in 2000, so when I was 18, it was a presidential election. I voted. But I've also had learned Bush Sr., Bush Jr., John Kerry, Bill Clinton, I can forget the other guy. I'm fucking sure Trump. The Bilderberg group that I talked about. If anybody wants to look into something interesting, just look that up. It was a part of a secret society thing on History Channel back in the day. And it's really interesting. And it's like, I think their first meeting was maybe in the 60s or 70s. Like, right about that time where they're like, hey guys, we got a problem. These people are all working together. What are we going to do about it? And I read this book, and I got to be quick because I'm about to run out and I'm done after this. I read this book. It was like a class in college just on the 60s and one just on the 70s. And I was reading this thing, and it was like the 60s, it said, like it was like a chapter title. I don't know if this is an official name or what, but it said the we generation. And it said the 70s, the me generation. And it was like, that's when it started. That's really when it started to, like, you know, it took a while to really take hold, but it's like people went from the 60s working together, fucking getting over their differences and trying to make a positive change for themselves. And then all of a sudden it was just like the powers that be just wham, hit everybody with a fucking stupid stick, and everybody's like, hey man, fuck all of you guys. I'm worried about me. What about me? What the fuck about you, man? I'm not that concerned about myself. I'm concerned about the whole, you know? That's why I want to change the world. It's like I want to try to somehow get it through people's heads to just fucking pull their heads out of their asses and snap back to reality. And this fucking social media bullshit is not something that people need. We don't need it. I am so, dude, I thank God every day that I was born in a time. I mean, I came of age before the fucking internet was a big, big thing. I mean, I barely knew anybody that had internet or a computer all the way through till I graduated high school. That following fall when I started college, I finally got a computer, internet, we got LimeWire. Like, it was not common. Cell phones were not common. Even like flip phones and the old school, like, hardly anybody had them. And dude, it was such a beautiful world to live in because you don't walk around everywhere and everybody's going, you know, driving around going, it didn't exist. There was nothing there. And it's like, God, dude, I would fucking do anything to be able to go back to that time. Or to just make this place back to that. I like YouTube because there's a lot of cool shit on here. You know, I mean, I'm just as guilty as everybody. Well, I don't know about just as guilty, but I'm guilty like everyone else. I don't fuck. The only thing I have is a Facebook. I have less than 100 friends on there. I don't think I've ever broke 100. And it's people that I've actually known, and even still, like, I don't even talk to half those people anymore, you know? Maybe I just a quick thing on here, like some friends and their kids and families and pictures. But I don't go through the news feed anymore. Like, tonight I took a picture of Jupiter. Right as the sun was going down, you could see Jupiter up, and the sky was like a real cool purpley color. So I took a picture, put it on. I haven't even looked. That was, I don't know, like 6-7 hours ago. I haven't looked to see if anybody liked it, because I don't give a shit if anybody liked it. Do it up there, and if somebody thinks it's interesting, cool, and if not, hey, I don't, whatever. But I don't go on there. YouTube is about the only technically social media thing that I use, and it's not really like your typical social media. There's a lot of interesting stuff. There is a lot of educational shit. There's also a lot of bullshit, so-called educational stuff. But, you know, if you got a little bit of common sense, you usually weed out most of it. Some of it can be compelling, you know, but you gotta think for yourself on some of that shit. But, God, I would do anything to be able to get people to realize that we don't need this shit. Fuck the social media. I've actually heard from listening to Joe Rogan podcasts that I guess it's like starting to become trendy to ditch the smartphone and go back to a flip phone. To ditch, so just delete social media accounts. If that's the case, that's the first trendy thing in over 20 years that I am fucking gonna be ecstatic about. I hope to God that's the case. I do more than I can ever tell you. The only thing I really like a smartphone for is having access to fucking any song that's ever been made. At any time, anywhere, and I love it. Because I got, thankfully, the truck at work, my work truck, has Bluetooth, so I can just jam out, cruise around, just jam to some Bill Withers or James Brown or Lou Rawls. I like it. That shit's tight. But it's helped me in my quest to learn more music too. So it's not that I hate all of it, but it's just the social media shit, man. We don't need it. And not everybody puts up fake lives. There's many people just showing their lives and their kids. But it's like one day I'm on there looking at it, it's like people, went to the grocery store today, take a picture, here's what I got. Here's my dinner I'm cooking, here's a picture. I'm like, I don't fucking care. Just like nobody cares about the fucking picture of Jupiter I put up. I don't give a fuck about what anybody's doing. And even though, like, the less than 100 people I have, I know these people, I'm not calling them up every day asking what they're doing. Most of them I don't even talk to, not on any kind of regular basis. There's only a couple people outside of, like, my couple family members on it that I talk to on a regular basis. That's it. That's it, man. I just, we gotta go back. We gotta go back. And all the, God, I feel so bad for all the people that have been born into this new world and they'll never fucking know what it was like. Payphones all over the place. Every business had payphones. Like, oh shit, I'm not gonna make it home in time. Pick up the phone. I don't have any money. Dial 1-800 collect. And it says, leave your name after the beep. And I'm like, Mom, I'm not gonna make it home in time. Be home in 2 hours. And they're like, will you accept a call from Mom? I'm not gonna make it home in time. Be home in 2 hours. And she goes, oh no, hangs up. But I got my message to her. That was like the fucking original texting, I guess. Like your little quick message, dude. This shit was awesome, man. I love doing it. But God, dude, payphones are fucking non-existent. I saw one recently. It was like in great shape, and it wasn't smashed up, and it wasn't missing the mouthpiece or the earpiece. It was like a mint condition payphone in service. I was like, I almost just want to make the call just to say I did it. Dude, I wish that the people that were born like from 2000 on, it's like smartphones didn't come out till 2007-ish, And so, I mean, they had a few years there, but, up to 7 years old, like, I got to go all the way through high school without having to deal with this shit. It was never an issue. There was no social media, no pressure to come up with fake shit about yourself or try to look cool or fucking whatever, man. Everything was done in person. You want to talk to a girl, you pick up the phone and call them. There was no texting. You have to talk to the girl. You know how fucking intimidating that shit can be? You get a girl's number and you're like, jeez, fuck. I gotta call this girl. Sit and actually like talk to her and try to come up with a conversation, but it would work, man. Sit and talk to a girl for like 2 or 3 hours on the phone, dude. That shit was cool as fuck back in the day, man. I wish to God that I could just meet a girl that would just call me and I could call her instead of texting all the time. Yeah, texting has its place and yeah, it's convenient sometimes, but the art of conversation is rapidly being lost. It's just fucking running out, man. A lot of people don't know how to communicate with one another anymore. And it's becoming a problem. It's going to be a real problem in about 20 years from now. People aren't going to know what to say when they're out in public. Like, I'm out in public all the time. I'll hold the door for somebody. They just fucking walk right past me. They don't. I mean, that's just fucking rude-ass people. Think the fucking world revolves around them. It's like, I don't know. But the art of conversation is being lost. Maybe it's because I'm a big talker that bothers me. I don't know. But people don't, they're getting to the point where they don't know how to communicate with one another anymore, and it's really sad to see, man. So, it's about 1 a.m. I gotta eat, I gotta take a shower, and go to bed soon. So, I'm about to get cut off again here in a few minutes. I don't know if it's because it's 33 minutes and 11 seconds is the cutoff point. Exactly. So, I don't know if it's gonna give me like an hour and 6 minutes or what, but I don't want to be mid-sentence and get cut off because I'm gonna be pissed. So, I don't know. I finally got around to making videos. I want to do so much more. I want to talk about so much more, man. But it's like, dude, we got to do something as a whole. And here's the thing. Those powers that be, they keep us fighting. They keep throwing distractions out there to get people. Like this wall shit. on the border of Mexico. You know what? You really know what that does? All it's doing is making people like me, who are like lower class people, or blue collar working class. It just makes people fucking hate each other. It just makes people fight and argue. When people are constantly posting Black Lives Matter shit all over the news and all over there, like, dude, all it does is make people argue. And to be honest with you, I don't even know if that shit's real. I've heard that there are people out there that make up fake shit like fake groups or like hate groups and like purposely try to spread shit just to make people argue and fight with each other. I know, I will bet my life that says that shit exists. But like, I don't really know, like oh, Black Lives Matter, Chicago, they just stepped out in the highway and just shut down a whole highway. Never seen it. Never seen one fucking person that's ever seen it happen. And if you want to try to step out on the fucking Dan Ryan or whatever that shit is going to, Dan Ryan, try stepping out on that road, even with a group of people, man. That's a fucking crazy, that shit's like a racetrack. It's wild. I don't see people doing that. But that's my point, is like, I don't know if this shit even happens. For all I know, they're just making shit up to make, that's why I don't watch the news. I don't watch it. Sometimes, unfortunately, I happen to see a TV at some place, and I'll see something, or like, I go to my grandma's house, sometimes I'm always watching the news, like, I don't want to see this shit because it just makes us fight. And if we keep fucking paying attention to this dumb shit and just fuck, we're never ever going to be able to work together to make positive change for ourselves. And we are the masses, man. We are the masses. The blue collar worker, we are the fucking masses. Don't let them fool you, man. The rich people, they are a vast minority, especially the super rich people. So, I'm not preaching revolution. I don't want, somebody to fucking show up my door and shoot me in the head one day because I'm talking some shit. But all I'm saying is that we need to get together. We need to work together because we're never going to get out of this shit unless we do it. We're never going to be able to get out of this mess that we're in unless we work together. And it's never going to happen if people keep believing all this shit or even listening to the shit. It don't even matter if it's true. All this shit, it don't matter if it's true. Don't let it in. Don't let it in. It's poison, man. It's fucking poison. That's all it is poison. It's mental poison. And we're just going to fight and hate and fight. And for what reason? These super rich people, they just sit back laughing at the fucking stupid ass. Like, look at these fucking dumb shits. Look at them watching reality shows, fucking watching the news, hating each other, fighting with each other. Like, we're the ones causing all the fucking problems and they don't even know we exist. We just sit back with all this money, trillions of fucking dollars, and just do whatever the fuck we want. Alright, it's about to cut me up. But think about it. Mental poison. Keep it out. Don't let the fucking news in. Just keep it fucking out. Quit scrolling through news feeds. Get the mental poison out of your life. I swear to you, I've never been happier than when I cut that shit out of my life. I promise it will help. Peace.